Live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Excuse me. Welcome to the number one home for personal development. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Coin Gang Ministries. My name is Ken Billions. I'm your host. I am your bro. If you can see me, press one. And if you can hear me, go ahead and press two. If you can see me, press one. And if you can hear me, press two. Happy Sunday to you and yours. You could be anywhere in the world, but you are here with me. Welcome. This is the number one home for personal development ministry for the abstract mind. And this is a safe space for everybody out there that has an out the box philosophy. How's your Sunday going, ladies and gents? I missed your beautiful faces. Year's almost over, and we're going to walk this thing down together. Happy Sunday to you and yours. Again, as I told you, you are at the right place at the right time. This is the number one home for personal development. This is Coin Gang Ministries, ministry for the abstract mind. This is a place where you come in thinking ordinary and you leave thinking extraordinary. You come here as an ordinary thinker and you leave as an extraordinary thinker. If you have babies, please keep your babies close to you. And if you have someone in your life that you're loving on, please, please, please allow them to love you. Do not punish a person for loving you. I have a great conversation today. And you know what's interesting in the internet spaces? If you don't touch a topic, immediately it becomes old, right? So if you don't address a topic the moment it happens, that's why everyone is focused on being first. Because the news cycle on social media moves so fast that if you don't touch a topic the moment that it happens, it's actually old, even though it could be a week later, right? So what I'm actually going to talk about, and I'm going to go a completely different direction. I never said anything about Deion. And I'm going to, because what I'm going to talk about actually has an effect on you. Has really nothing to do about Deion Sanders. It has everything to do about you. So what we're going to talk about is don't let no one trick you out your position. Now they trick you out your position a couple ways. And one of the ways they trick you out your position is they always want you to sacrifice yourself for the greater good, right? This ideal of a utopia or this ideal of community or this ideal of the greater good, don't do it. We're going to talk about you should go for yours right now. 2023 should be a year for you that you are going for yours right now. We're going to talk about how come when you look like this, everything has to get filtered through pastors, preachers, and deacons. The approach has to be from a religious mindset. Like you can't just be a straight capitalist. Your capitalism has to be tied to charity. You can't just want to make bread. You just can't want to be successful. It always has to come from a perspective of pastors, deacons, and preachers. That's what dominates this so-called community, not scientists or biologists, not even real businessmen and businesswomen for real, not paleontologists, not anthropologists, not generals, right? Not astrophysicists. No, pastors, preachers, and deacons. So if your decision making does not come from a pastor or preacher or deacon perspective, something is wrong with you. If someone goes low, you got to go high. It's always some moral bullshit, right? Nah, we're going to address that. We're going to talk about the science of competition, and we're going to talk about how you should be more like Deion. But before you can be like Deion, before you can even move forward in 2023, before you can make a plan, before you can do anything, it's important for you to know what time it is. The interesting thing about a lot of the conversations that happen in the world is it happens and people don't even know what time it is. Now, do you know what time it is? Do you really? How can you judge anyone's decision making? How can you call someone a sellout? How can you look down on someone and you yourself don't even know what time it is? Here's a sculpture of Julius Caesar. Why is Julius Caesar important? Because in 45 BC, Julius Caesar ordered a calendar consisting of 12 months based on a solar year. This calendar employed a cycle of 3 years of 365 days, followed by a year of 366 days, which was a leap year. When first implemented, the Julian calendar also moved the beginning of the year from March 1st to January 1st. Okay? This is important because you got to know what time it is. There are human beings that control the time. So if human beings control the time, how can you ever know what time it is? How can you ever be sure that what you're saying is correct and you don't know the time? So this is Julius Caesar, and the Julian calendar goes to the Gregorian calendar. The Gregorian calendar is from Pope Gregory. The Gregorian calendar is the calendar used in most parts of the world. It was introduced in October 1582 by Pope Gregory as a modification of a replacement for the Julian calendar. So it was this, and then it was this. So the way that we even tell time is through another man's eyes. It's funny, but y'all talk a lot about, or not y'all, but many people talk about white supremacy. And if I even believed in it, first of all, I would start with the time. Your day starts at night. Your day starts at night. See, you can't say anything about Deion. You can't say anything about anyone because our topic today is always go for the money. Always go for the money. See, when you go for the money or when you go for or when you make plans, you got to understand the people that are going to be in your ear, the people that are going to be complaining about you, they don't even know what time it is. So we're just starting, and what I showed you is the Julian calendar changes into the Gregorian calendar. So these are people, men, saying what time it is. We're not telling time based on the stars. We're not telling time based on the sun, the moon. We're not telling time based on nature. We're telling time based on popes. And we're telling time based on emperors. So if we don't know what time it is, how can somebody judge your decision making? If you are all about the money or you're all about the career, they say that's European standards, right? How you move, right? You ain't down for the cause. But they don't even know what time it is. Our topic today is always go for the money. Now, a lot of financial people are talking about 2023 being a up and down year in the market. You know all that money they printed in 2020, right? That money they printed in 2020 is coming back to haunt us now because you have all this bread in the economy and it lowers the price or it lowers the value of the money. So now you need a lot of the money for little bitty things. You need a lot of the money for milk. You need a lot of the money for bread. You need a lot of the money for phones, right? Because they printed so much money in 2020. It devalued the money. Okay. And one of the things that has made our standard of living and made the number one country in the world was the fact that the dollar was so strong. Okay, so now for things that you want, you're going to need a lot of it, right? You're going to need a lot of the money. Why is that important? Because I'm telling you right now to go for the bread. But let's get back to the time, right? So you see this calendar, right? You need to know what you're looking at. You need to know what time it is. Now, did you know January was named after a Roman god named Janus, protector of gates and doorways? Janus is depicted with two faces, one looking into the past, the other looking into the future. In ancient Roman times, the gates of the temple of Janus were open in times of war and closed in times of peace. Did you know that? Did you know that that's where January comes from? You're literally in another human being's mind. Did you know that? The way that we tell time is based on another human being. Oh, there's more. February is from the Latin word febria, to cleanse. The Roman calendar month for Febrius was named for Febralia, a festival of purification and atonement that took place during this period. What about March? Did y'all know the name for the Roman god of war is Mars? And they named March after Mars. This was the first time of the year to resume military campaigns that had been interrupted by winter. March was also a time for many festivals, presumably in preparation for the campaigning season. Did you know that the month of March was named after the god of war in Roman society named Mars? Why is this important? Because how can anybody say anything to you about being successful, about pursuits or anything when people don't even know what time it is? Y'all never thought it was weird that a new day started at night? You didn't know this? You didn't know that you're in another person's mind? Since this is it's the giving season, um the Cash App is your friend and Super Chat is your friend. You know why? Because I know what time it is. Nah. What about April? April, from the Latin word apria, to open, because plants begin to grow in this month. In essence, this month was viewed as spring renewal. May, named for the Roman goddess Mia, who oversaw the growth of plants. Also from the Latin word moratis, elders who were celebrated during this month. Maya or Mia was considered a nurturer and an earth goddess, which may explain the connection with this springtime month. It's very interesting because isn't this pagan? Goddesses and gods. Do you know why these names were incorporated into the calendar? Because Roman society was a pagan culture until Emperor Constantine consolidates all the Christian mystic systems into one state sanctioned religion. Okay? But some of Rome's culture still bled through. Okay? Then you have June. June, named after Roman goddess Juno, patroness of marriage and the well being of women. Also from the Latin word juvenes, young people. Did y'all know that June was named after a goddess named Juno? What about July? July is named in honor of Roman dictator Julius Caesar. Did you know that? What about August? Named to honor the first Roman emperor and the grandnephew of Julius Caesar, Augustus Caesar. You want to talk about white supremacy? Like the whole entire calendar. Did you know that? September comes from the Latin word septem, meaning seventh, because it was the seventh month of the early Roman calendar. October. In the ancient Roman calendar, October was the name of the eighth month of the year. Its name from octo, the Latin word for eight. What about November? When the Latin word Novem, nine, well, November is a Latin word. Well, it comes from the Latin word Novem, which means nine, because it had been the ninth month of the Roman calendar. And December was Decem, which was 10 because it was the 10th month of the year. Point blank period. Do you see we don't even know the time? If you can play with people's time, you can play with people's worlds. Now, why did I open up saying this? Is because if you don't know the time, then it's very easy for people to trick you out of your position. This is bigger than Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders did exactly what he was supposed to do. I'm talking to you because you may have money on the table, you may have opportunity on the table, you might have love on the table, you might have something that's specifically for you on the table, and you're not taking what's on the table because you have all this other shit in your mind and you're letting people guilt you, right? You're letting people play with you, you're letting people make you believe it's something bigger than what it is. I'm going to show you that it ain't bigger than what they're saying. I'm going to show you that these people use you, use your attention, use your resources, and then they hop on to the next one. Now, what people I'm talking about? I'm talking about anybody that's coming to you talking any type of community talk. The community is in your crib. Now, let me show you something that's interesting. Remember, know what time it is. I'm going to tell y'all a story. Some of y'all might not know this woman, right? Because no one talks about her, right? No one talks about this woman. She's such a sweetheart, such a sweetheart. Does anybody you know this woman? Does she look familiar to you? Anybody? This woman is such a sweetheart. She went to church. She had children. You know, she used to do women's movements. You know, she was a real catalyst during the civil rights period. She was a sweetheart, man. A sweetheart. And the fact that nobody ever mentions her name is a travesty. That's messed up. Why no one remember her name? Okay. Now remember this face. Her name is Alberta. That's her real name, right? Now, does anybody know him? Because Alberta and this young man's life will be forever connected to each other. This is Marcus. Now, Marcus adopted the theology of the Black Hebrew Israelites. Did you know that Marcus wanted to go after Jesse Jackson, but he canceled at the last minute? Marcus said, "All Christians are my enemies." And he walked into a church while Miss Alberta was playing the organ. He took two guns out and he shot Miss Alberta to death. She was 69 years old. Did y'all know that? Miss Alberta was playing the organ. And Marcus, who adopted the Hebrew Israelite theology, right, walked into a church and took that woman's life. That's messed up, right? Oh, my bad. Let me tell you who Miss Alberta is. My fault. Y'all recognize Miss Alberta now? Miss Alberta is Martin Luther King's mom. Did y'all know that a young black man walked into a church and killed Martin Luther King's mom in 1974? Did y'all know that? and he was a Hebrew Israelite. Mm. Why am I bringing that up? Don't ever let anyone trick you into thinking that this game is something that it ain't. Alberta King was gunned down by Marcus Wayne Chenault in 1974 in Ebenezer Baptist Church while she was playing her organ. Google's your friend if you don't believe me. This is Martin Luther King's mother. Has anybody ever talked about this? So not only should Deion worry about his family, so should you. Because when something happens to you, nobody got your peoples. Don't ever let someone play you about some mysterious movement. Don't ever let someone play you about some mystical community. Don't ever let someone play you about how we're all together. Because we're not. They use you. They want you to do all the legwork so they can say, we. Right? Remember now, the men don't care about women that got degrees, right? And the women don't care about the men if unless you buying a Birkin. So listen, man, all of y'all need to just do you. And whoever your small tribe is, whoever your small team is, that's who y'all focus on. Because you would think we would all know who Alberta King is, right? See, we talk about Dylan Roof walking into a church, but before Dylan Roof ever walked in the church, Marcus walked in the church. Marcus was 23 years old. Marcus walked into that church and took Martin Luther King mother's life because he said he did not like Christians. But 2 weeks before that, he was aiming at Jesse Jackson and he decided not to. This is his quote. All Christians are my enemies. That's what Marcus said. And it's interesting that at that time, Marcus had just adopted Hebrew Israelite theology. Now, I'm not saying they're connected, but that's an interesting point. So, while they was talking about a white man named Dylan Roof walking into a church and harming black people, they never mentioned Marcus. Why am I saying this? Because it's important that you go for yours. There is no community. That is mythical, right? That is a way for very talented people for you to do all the work. That is a way for smart people to do the thinking, and then the vultures are going to latch on for your work. We're in Aquarius. Your community is the people that you find in the world that think like you, that move like you, that love like you, and that want the things that you want. That's your community. Your community can't be assigned to you by other people. Your community is not what other people call you. Your community is what you decide, right? So remember Alberta King. Anytime you think or you want to be frontline and they're going to hold your family down or hold your peoples down, the mere fact that many of you didn't even know that, and that's Martin Luther King's mom, you think is going to be different for you? Okay. Question. Where's Corinne Gaines' son? Doesn't matter. She was a rider, right? Where's her baby? When you pray at night, is Corinne Gaines' son in your prayers? I doubt it. Do you think the boy is traumatized from that experience he had? Sure. Hmm. Where's her son? Are any of these community people pro-blacks? Any of them? Is there a fund for her son? Hmm? Okay. Her face is a little more familiar than Alberta King's. But anybody know her? You know, if her father would have stayed around just for just a little longer, maybe, just maybe, things would have been different. Just maybe. Hmm. After her father left, the family struggled. After her father left, nobody stepped in. It was very hard. You know, we talk a lot about her father, but no one ever talks about the children. In 2013, this young man was thrown off a roof in Mexico. Mhm. He had a troubled life. But you would think because his father or his grandfather was who he was, a boy like this, it would have been different. Now, many of you don't know her and you don't know him. Hmm. Now, he was thrown off a roof in 2013, off a roof. But when he was 12, his grandmother was living here. Mhm. His grandmother was living here. Okay. In Yonkers, New York. Okay. He set a fire that killed his grandmother. This is his grandmother. All these people are family. Her, him, her. Now, no way in hell this woman was supposed to be living here in Yonkers. Oh, wait a second. Hmm. You don't know who this is? Oh, that's her. That's Betty. Oh, you get it now? Oh, uh-huh. I don't want to hear shit about community. This is Malcolm's daughter. I jack her name up. Khaliba Shabazz. This is her son, Marcus. Marcus was thrown off a roof in 2013. When Marcus was 12, he set a fire that took the life of her. That's Betty Shabazz. What the fuck was Betty Shabazz doing living in that place? I know exactly why Deion took the money. He can win 1,000 championships. Something happened to him, he ain't gonna help his family. He ain't gonna help his family. I just showed you two iconic families. Two iconic families. And the majority of the public has no clue what has happened to the children or the grandchildren or the women or the sons. Nothing. What community? Community? Wait a minute. But we love Malcolm though, right? But Betty Shabazz died in the projects. This is process this for a second. This is Betty. Process this. That is Betty Shabazz. She's supposed to be royalty, right? Or no? Or no? Or no? This is Malcolm's wife, right? Betty dies here in the projects. What community? The grandson, who was a troubled youth, set the fire. So you mean to tell me there's no covering over this family? Not nothing? No covering, huh? No covering. What community? And you don't understand why Deion took the money? You don't understand why Deion took the money? Because Deion got sons. And ain't nobody gonna ride for his sons like he does. And Deion got a downline. And ain't nobody gonna ride for them like he does. You know how we know? Because y'all didn't even know who this was. Her story is not even taught about. Why? Because the man that killed her was a Hebrew Israelite? Is that why we don't want to say anything? Because we sure enough do talk about Dylan Roof. Let me frame this for a second. Both Martin and Malcolm sacrificed a lot for people that they did not know, right? And for Martin Luther King, for somebody to be able to walk in a church and gun his mother down. But let me tell you the worst part of it. We didn't even know who this woman's name was. What's this for again? You know why you take the money? Because if you take the money, at least it gives you the ability to cover your own. And that's all you got, y'all, is your own. That's all you got is your own. I am under no illusion that this shit is bigger than what it is. I get sick, something happened to me, I don't do videos no more. The only people that got me is the tribe that I set up. And that's okay. I'm under no illusions. Because at the end of the day, people will just go to the next video. And that's the game. I don't take it personally. And I'm not confused. And it's the same for you. If you think for 1 second, oh yeah, my followers got me. Really? Really? Especially if you're somebody that claims you're doing the work. First of all, let me tell you something. Your followers support gossiper channels more than you. You do you doing the work? What work? What work? The people don't pay for that. They don't pay for the message. They pay for fuckery. You better learn this quick. If you are a financial planner, you talk about money, you do personal development, understand if you have a platform and you trying to drop knowledge and all that, this is a hurry up and wait game. I hope you understand that, right? Cuz ain't no money in it, right? So, when you do it, you're doing it you're building your catalog. Look at it like that. But don't quit your day job. Don't quit your hustle, right? You're building your catalog and you're going to leverage your content and your catalog into something greater like Joe Rogan. But on the front end, don't get in your feelings. I'm letting you know that right now. Don't get in your feelings. It's dry. But you can't get in your feelings because look what happened to Alberta. You have to know the people that you're dealing with. Let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you. A lot of people like to pretend that the black app is not what it is, and it's that. We like to pretend that it ain't that, but it is. It is. It's a group of people that would like your blood, sweat, and tears for these mystical movements. It's a people that want you to do all the work. Now, these are adults now, while they do absolutely nothing but party and bullshit. And when you pass away, they're going to desecrate your legacy. They're going to tell all your secrets. They're going to make videos about your name and put exposed by it. And everybody's going to be in the chat talking about you while you're gone. Not your good shit, all your flaws, the affairs that you had, the babies out of wedlock, your financial status. Now, these were the people that you said, my people, my people, my people. These were the people that you said got me. Kind of like they had Alberta, right? Always go for the money. You know why? The money ain't biased. The money doesn't play favorites. The money is the same no matter who spent it. But human beings are unpredictable. And human beings have biases. And human beings have ideals, right? You never know what it is. See, you know what it is with the paper, right? Now, sure, it's spent differently in some places, but the money is money, right? It can open up the doors in California and it can open up doors in Florida. It can open up doors in New York and it can open up doors in London, right? The community that you want is millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. That's the community that you want. Because if this is a community that you're talking about, that I've already made my decision, right? But if if and I'm going to use the word, if this Hebrew Israelite man, right? With God's the chosen people, all right, he walked in and gunned down Martin Luther King's mother, and nobody knows that story. And it happened in 1974. But we know everything else, though. We know about Emmett Till. We know about Medgar Evers, right? Why we don't know about Miss Alberta? But now her life means more when I put this picture up. So when it's her by herself, it don't mean that much, right? But then when I show you whose mother it is, now, oh, now it's more horrifying, right? Because it's his mom. Y'all cold piece of work. Because when I showed that picture, it was like, who's her? Who is that? Who is that? But when I show you whose mom it is, now it's different, right? When I show you, when I show you Kaliba Shabazz, it don't do nothing, right? When I show you him and I paint the picture in the story, he got thrown off a roof, it don't do nothing, right? When I say that he burnt his grandmother up, he didn't mean to. That's what he said. When she's living in the projects, and then I show her right here, it don't do nothing, right? Oh, because in modern times, aesthetically, she's technically not the preference. So it don't hit, right? It don't hit. But now it hits when I put her right here. Now there's a feeling, right? Now it's like, oh shit, damn, for real? Oh man. You'll know when I hit my real lick, because you will never, ever see me again. You're gonna come to my YouTube and be like, damn, Kenny did a video in 2 years? Oh, I'm alive. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm just fucking with different people. You know, like, damn, is Ken alive? Yeah, trust me, I'm alive. I'm in good health. I ain't suicidal. I'm young. I got a head full of hair. I'm active, right? I'm alive. I'm just messing with someone else, right? I'm not with one-sided loyalty. Cause if y'all do this to Betty, right? If Betty can't ask for a favor and this where she lived, this Malcolm lady, right? And his son is getting thrown off roofs, right? And this dude, this Hebrew Israelite, can walk in and gun down her, but y'all only really care when I showed you that it's his mom. Yeah. Yeah. I can't get mad at this. And I get it. Because what's the other build what? It's a sinking ship. They don't even have water down there, right? You mean to tell me we're all the same and we do all these award shows, gospel music awards and NAACP awards, and you got all these rich blacks with money and you got to pull people's arm to help with the water? And that's the group that you're supposed to be affiliated with? Now, people can spend their money how they want. That's for sure. But I don't expect a person like Deion, who's been a winner his entire life. Do you know the moment Deion came to this university, they stole his wallet? All of his stuff they stole his shit. And you're going to keep asking the most talented and the most brightest people in this so-called group to deal with it just cuz? This dude been a winner his whole life. I done watched the career and had the sneakers. So you want a person that been a winner his whole life and brings value everywhere he goes. See, the thing about Deion, what I remember, dude was playing in baseball and football games on the same day on a professional level. Do you know who this man is? How you go from one sport to another sport in the same day? Go to the 49ers, winner. Go to the to Dallas, winner. This is a winner. And for the winner, ain't no running water down here. Oh, the facility is messed up. The winner, his check, he has to use his own game, his own salary to reinvest it back into this infrastructure. Do you know I found out an interesting number that the average salary for Jackson State alumni is like 30 grand? The average salary for a Jackson State alumni is not even like 50 racks. I thought self preservation was the first law of nature. I thought self preservation was the first law of nature. Know what y'all want? What y'all want? Y'all want black men and women that have worked extremely hard in their life to sacrifice for your children. You want these people to put everything on the line for you. And the moment they say something you don't like, you're going to give them your ass to kiss. The moment that they have a political ideology you don't like, you're going to give them your ass to kiss. But wait a minute. See, this all starts back here. Y'all didn't even know that Martin Luther King's mother was gunned down in the church by a black man. Why does that matter? It matters a lot. Because y'all wanna hide shit like this. And the reason why you hide it is because you don't want people to know that the nature of black people is the same nature of white people. Whatever the white man is capable of, so is the black man. Whatever the white woman is capable of, so is the black woman. It's human. And humans are gonna human. So we like to pretend that we have a certain level of righteousness in us, right? That sets us apart from other people. Really? Then how did he go and gun down Martin Luther King's mother? And the reason for it was because she was Christian. No other reason. No other reason. See, we like to give anything brown and black a pass. Oh, it's post-traumatic slave stress. Oh, it's because people ain't got no money. Yo, the majority of the world works on less than $5 a day, right? In some parts, it's not even a dollar. If not having no money triggers dysfunctional and violent behavior, then poor people around the world would overthrow their government right now. How come poverty for the American black man and woman produces a behavior that it doesn't in other people, and other people are poorer than you. The worst project in America is a five-star hotel in the Congo. There are people in the world that will suck on Flint ice cubes. No, 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 no. The problem in America is value system, that if you're not rich, then you think your life is bad. Because you're not rich, then your life is bad. And we need things to make us feel important. That's what the Gucci's for. Let's keep it a buck. That's what the brands is for. Let's keep it a buck. When the women say, "Oh, I just need a certain lifestyle," it's not because the shit is nice. It's to it's to have the one up over other women. Let's keep it a stack. Because if it's nobody on the planet, then that car doesn't matter. If it's nobody on the planet, then that crib doesn't matter. You need people to see you. That's what gives it value. You need people to see you in the clothes. Because if people don't see you in the clothes, then you can't feel important. Let's keep it real while we do what we do. I just like nice things. It's only nice because other people don't have it. Let's keep it real. Because if you're like Tom Hanks in Castaway on an island, what is Fendi glasses? No one's there to validate you. Wilson is not gonna say nothing. Let's keep it a buck. Why'd you get the Benz, fam? Right? To have the one up on other dudes. That's what it's about. If everybody has the Benz, your Benz means nothing. If everybody has the Bentley, your Bentley means nothing. It means more because you're the only one with it. It's a level of flexing that I have more value than other humans. And that same politics that we have accused white people of, that exists in Black America too. Let's stop the cap. We only want to be around certain blacks with certain cars and certain hair and certain clothes and certain optics. Class in America. Class. They try to trick you. Oh, it's race. Let me tell you something. If I was rich, right? It doesn't matter what a white man thinks of me. You know why? Because if my son needs a bone marrow transplant, I'm in line ahead of you. I have access to my child going to private school. I have access to things that you don't have. But I'm going to trick you and say that you and I are having the same American experience based on race. And that's cap. That's a finesse. That's a bourgeoisie move to make the people at the bottom feel like, even the rich black man is going through what I'm going through. No, he's not. No, he's not. The rich black man's life is nothing like yours. And I'm not talking about the rich rapper. I'm talking about the rich physician and the rich judge And I'm someone like Don Peebles. Don Peebles does not live the life that you live. Now it's important that I showed you Miss Alberta. So now we know her name. Now we know her name. Appreciate the 10, Seeker of Truth. Now we know her name. Gunned down. And I need to make this point because this has been a hot button issue. Oh, Hebrew Israelite. Yeah, a Hebrew Israelite. Gunned down Martin Luther King's mom. You can't say that though. Oh, well, every Israelite is different. All right, well, every white cop is different, right? Every Israelite is different. You right. So is every white man, right? Because when it comes to white, it's all. When it comes to black, it's not all. Don't let nobody play these games with you. Don't let nobody play these games. Look, man. Listen, man. Betty Shabazz died in the projects. What are we talking about here? Betty Shabazz. Richard, my G, appreciate you for the continued support. Bro, been rocking with me heavy for a minute. I appreciate you, bro. Betty Shabazz died in the projects. If you're a man like Malcolm and you did what he did, right? None of your family should ever work unless they want to. Around black people, your wifey, all she should do is just do a head nod and it's whatever for her. It's whatever for her. What's what is the perks? What's the perks of this? I'll do you one better. Not just Malcolm. Y'all know that Kevin Samuels has a daughter, right? How's she doing? How's Kevin Samuels' daughter doing? Does anybody know? Does it matter? Hell yeah. Remember, it was protect Kevin Samuels at all costs. What about his daughter? How can his daughter get that YouTube channel? Because it's still making money. Who has the login and the password and the routing number it's associated with? That should go to the daughter, right? He was doing the work, right? See how y'all do y'all peoples? And I ain't even agree with Kevin. I have disagree, but I'm talking about principles now. The man represented a certain group. Therefore, in his passing, take care of his peoples, right? Appreciate the 10, fam. Another one been rocking with me for hellas. I'm just saying, because why would anybody want to do any kind of work if this is what it is? You know what I noticed? Y'all love the character and the personality. And once you take from them, what about their wife? What about their husband? What about their kids? Does it matter? Does it matter? So anybody in my chat, I'm gonna tell you like this. This coming year, They're saying that it's going to be up and down in the economy. And what I'm telling you this year, go for it like you never went for it before. You a woman, go for it. You a man, go for it. And go for it unapologetically, because this is one big competition. Don't let them trick you. Let me tell you something. One of their finesses that they like to do on you is they like to put you in a group and say, other races, other races, other races. The moment that them races get free will, their ass is gone too. The moment it gets to the second generation, they're going to. Shout out to the truth seeker of all things. I like that name. Appreciate you, love. Don't get it twisted. Once it gets second generation and they become American too, they move exactly like us. Don't let them finesse you with that, because that's a finesse. You know, other groups of people, and we're the only race. How do they know when, remember, they don't even know what time it is? Remember back to time, y'all? How can people that don't even know what time it is tell you anything? If you wasn't here when we started, this is Julius Caesar. We're on the Julian calendar. We went to the Gregorian. Well, Pope Gregory kept the names of the calendar, but we're on something called a Gregorian calendar, where your day starts at nighttime. We're in another man's mind, and many of your months are named after Roman gods like Juno, like Maya, and July is named after Julius Caesar, and August is named after Emperor Augustus. So how can people that don't even know what time it is tell you anything? Salute to Amber. What's up, love? Rising Sun on the check-in. Salute to the truckers. You know what I mean? I was just on the road the other day and I was like, yo, truckers is making this whole thing shake. Salute to the truckers. It's interesting because without the truckers, content creators wouldn't even be big. It's the truckers that's listening to all the content. It's the truckers that's in the truck, driving hella far, listening to content, calling when they're on the roads. Shout out to the truckers. It's the truckers that's making the content go. It's not people at home. I don't know when the last time y'all got on the highway. Yo, trucking? And I love to drive. If I had vision, I'd have been in the truck, because I don't need to be around humans. So I definitely would have been around in the truck. But shout out to the truckers. And it hit me the other day. I was in traffic and I'm just looking. I'm like, yo. And then it's women in the trucking. You know what I'm saying? Baddies too. Before, all the trucking women used to look like large Marge. Now trucker women look like Cardi B. I'm sorry. They look like Carisha. It's girls that are driving trucks with waist trainers on. Like, yo, it's a new world out here. But for real, every content creator, you gotta make a trucker stream or something, because it's the truckers that's soaking up all the content while we're asleep. They're up listening to shit. So shout out to you. You know what I mean? But for 2023, you gotta go for it. You have to go for it. And while you're going for it, I want you to do something with your mind, right? I want you to take your mind out of what we've been taught, right? And what we've been taught is see the world through three lenses: pastor, preacher, and deacon. It's pastors, preachers, and deacons that is filtering the entire world for you, right? Let me tell you something. You do not need the church anymore. Put the church in you. What does that mean? Become the concepts. You don't need to hear about Noah no more. You don't need to hear about Jonah no more. You don't need to hear about Ezekiel's will no more, right? You don't need to hear about John the Baptist getting his head chopped off. You don't need to hear about Pontius Pilate no more. You don't need to hear about Gentiles, Sadducees, Pharisees, blah. Put the concepts in you. See what the pastors and preachers and the deacons do? They put you in the book instead of putting the book inside of you. What does that look like? You have a David and Goliath situation going on in your own life. Why are you getting high on someone else's story when you have the dynamics going on in your own life? You don't need to hear about nobody sitting in a fish's mouth, which is impossible to survive. But anyway, you don't need to hear about no one sitting in a fish's mouth for 3 days when you done been to hell in 3 days. Your mama died, your granny died. You thought that was the worst time of your life. You had to bail your man out of jail. You ain't know how you was going to get the money. That's not you in a fish's mouth for 3 days. You've never been Noah before. You've never warned people about things that's happening and nobody believed you. And then you had to build your own ship, which is your family and your household. And you had to pack up shop and you had to keep it moving. And you warned everybody what was going to happen and nobody believed you. Why you care about that story for when you are living it in real time? Why are you worried about Jesus Christ coming back when you got the Christ running through your spine? You are the Christ. Why would anything ever be outside of you? Why would anything ever be outside of us? Why are we praying for wisdom? What happens if no one answers? Why are we praying for courage? What happens if it says no? You telling me that we was born missing things? So we the iPhone. So you mean to tell me that our life is like an iPhone? You know the charger don't come with the iPhone. So I'm just here, but I'm not gonna get nothing unless I pray for it. But then if you say no, then what am I supposed to do? So if I pray for wisdom, you'd be like, nah, what do I do? Or I'm looking for courage and I'm like, yo, please God, I want courage. And God like, not right now. So what do I do? Wait, what do I do? Right? Or if I subscribe to what they're telling me about, I'm an original Hebrew and stuff. So you want me to come into something where the God is mad at me and curse me? Oh no, I don't like that either. So so in finding out who I am and I come into your belief system, in your belief system, God is mad at something I didn't do, but something so my forefathers did thousands of years ago. How about I don't and I still get blessed? I like my blessings that is like what's the perks? What's the perks? Who wants to join a religion where you're getting punished? Right? And then Yahweh Shah has to come. Yo, ugh, you telling me the white man is that powerful that a supernatural being has to come to the earth to deal with him? Yo, do you know what you're saying? The white man is that badass that we can't figure it out. And the only way to deal with this white man, like y'all saying, is a supernatural being has to do it. No wonder a black man get a white chick. No wonder. Cause if they have to be dealt by the supernatural, I'm about to paint myself like Sammy Sosa. Like, I need that kind of favor where we applying pressure in this life so crazy that humans can't figure us out. A supernatural being has to come figure us out. Yeah, I'm cool on that too. I'm cool on pastors, preachers, and deacons. I don't need no info from pastors, preachers, and deacons. Pastors, preachers, and deacons don't know search engine optimization. Pastors, preachers, and deacons don't know 3D printers, how it works. Pastors, preachers, and deacons don't know nothing about nanotechnology, right? Pastor, preachers, and deacons cannot tell me about the world of 2050. Pastor, preachers, and deacons can't tell me the difference between virtual reality and augmented reality. Pastor, preachers, and deacons ain't saying the things that Dr. Joe Dispenza is saying about how to hack my biology. Pastors, preachers, and deacons are telling me to pray away my trauma, help, ask God for forgiveness and ask God for help for my trauma. But Dr. Joe Dispenza is telling me how to be supernatural and how to hack my own biology through my thinking. Bruce Lipton is talking about the biology of belief, and if I change my belief, I change my biology. And you talking about praying to some shit in the sky. I'm good. I'm good. My brain is not set up like that. I don't need no pastors, preachers, and deacons to shape the world for me. Just ask the Lord. Just ask. You got to do it like Deion. And the quicker you understand what this thing is about, it's about me versus you, my group versus your group, my city versus your city, my state versus your state, my country versus your country. That's what it's about. Me versus you, my group versus your group, my city versus your city, in that order. This is about competition. And the only thing they give you for the competition is hope. Hope. Hope to do good. Hope to do better. That's all it is, y'all. It's hope. Hope ain't a strategy. Hope ain't a strategy. And there is no our people, right? Your group is who you find that likes you, you like them. Y'all come up with plans and y'all rock out. Do not get finessed out of your position and end up like Betty Shabazz living in the projects, or end up like Alberta King playing your organ and somebody come gun you down. And you know when she seen him coming, she probably welcomed him with open arms because of how he looked. And don't be like Malcolm riding for the people. And then when something happened to you, nobody take care of your family. Blue Ivy, Jay-Z's daughter, will be taken better care of People are going to take care of Beyonce's baby better than they took care of Malcolm's children. Bet that. Something happened to Jay-Z and Beyonce, somebody's going to swoop in and be like, oh, where are them babies? The fans are going to be like, oh, we need to do something for Blue. Some happy to Nicki Minaj. The Barbs are going to be trying to do something. Come on, man. What community? What community? The fans are going to be like, yo, we got to take care with Nicki's baby. Them children ain't going to want for nothing. And are they going around trying to save the world? Nope. Nope. What community? You know what people like? Money. Right? You want people to ride for your family? Get rich. People respect bread. People respect money. People respect fame. Shout out to the homie Arnell, my dude. People would take care of Nicki Minaj, baby, on the strength that she was famous, yo. Jay-Z, baby, getting taken care of on the strength that they're famous celebrities, right? If something happened to Tina Knowles, everybody would know it. But Alberta King got shot up in the church way before Dylan Roof was ever born, and nobody even knows. I'm going to also tell you why no one even knows. It's because of her aesthetic. Let's keep it a buck. She doesn't have the quote look for Black America. And we like to pretend that it ain't about that. Oh, but it is. Shout out to you. Oh, but it is. The Nation of Islam has a look. We want to pretend it doesn't. The leadership has an aesthetic. It does. 19 Keys has an aesthetic. It does. We like to pretend that we're not like that, but we are. The reason why you didn't know Alberta King was killed and gunned down by a black man has a lot to do with her aesthetic. And I'm not saying anything about aesthetic. Her what I think. I'm telling you how these niggas think. I know exactly the mindset. I've studied it. I broke niggas down to a grain of sand. I know niggas gonna nig. I know what niggas like. It's the aesthetic. Tina Knowles is going to get different treatment. And it's not because of social media. It's because how she looks. Huh. Betty Shabazz. Regular black girls. Betty Shabazz. Regular black girls. And guess what? Betty Shabazz would not have died here if she looked different. How about that? I'm putting that on the table. It's the aesthetic. There is a pretty privilege in Black America. Stop playing. There is a popular family privilege in Black America. Stop playing. And you know how we know these politics exist? Because now you're hearing people talk that was not part of the popping families or that wasn't part of the popular crew. And you're starting to hear it. Like, oh, no, I got treated bad. Stop playing. The same things that we front and try to say white America does. Black people do the same thing. Stop playing. Everything white people like, black folks like too. Except personal development. That's where the line draws. That's where, no, that's where it separates in the personal development aspect. So you have these Tony Robbins, you have these Jim Rohns, you have these Brian Tracy's and these Grant Cardones, and you have Manly P. Halls. You know what I'm saying? And you have the Zig Ziglars and the Jack Canfields and the Wayne Dyers, right? And you have events like A Life and Wanderlust, right? Y'all, you got to go for yours because these people don't got you. And you knowing that, that should make your grind better, right? They're going to tell you no, 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 right? And when you finally get your yes, they're going to ask you, well, what did you do for black people? What? Don't let Umar's a pastor too. Pastor, preachers, deacons. You know what he lives off? Nostalgia. He's going to nostalgia you to death. And in 1940, and don't get caught up in none of that. None of that. Don't get caught. It sounds good. Sounds good, right? And we get caught up on people that know how to talk. Sounds good. But at the end of the day, the only thing people can hand you, a real teacher right now, is a mirror. There ain't nowhere to follow nobody to. The shit is all covered, right? The only thing you can do now is do the work on yourself, ladies and gentlemen. The only thing you can focus on right now is yourself, right? Don't get caught up in pastors, preachers, and deacons. Don't get caught up in people trying to make you be altruistic, right? Don't get caught up in people dangling little carrots in your hair in front of your face. And you got to have the confidence to know that you can thug this shit out by yourself until you meet people that are like-minded, that you are totally in alignment with. Don't be as don't be afraid to be by yourself. First of all, there's apps on your phone that can play the role of 10 people. There's accountability apps. There's diet apps. There's fitness apps. Silicon Valley has basically created so you don't even need 20 people. The apps on your phone pretty much can help you maneuver through life. It's finance apps, it's daily planner apps, whatever you're looking for. It's apps for your children so you can see what they're doing on the phone. Why am I saying this? Don't be afraid to thug it out. You being alone is the power that people have on you over you, and they play it too. Oh, you don't want to be alone. Yeah, you need people. Do we? For what? For what? Not trying to come to your lectures and be sweaty because you don't got the air right, right? And don't make people make you feel bad for being bougie because you done scaled. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to sleep on the floor. So something's wrong with you. Or you don't want to eat at that restaurant or go to that neighborhood or that environment. You must think you all that. Yeah, you know what? I am. I am. I am. If I don't gotta be on survival food, I'm not going to. Right? If I don't gotta eat noodles, I'm not going to. If I don't gotta eat 7 wings and rice, I'm not going to. Right? Nothing wrong with that, y'all. Nothing. Nothing. Right? And it has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with you and where you see yourself. Same as Deion. If you've been watching Dude for years, you know, Dude been winning. Dude had a rap video, must be the money. I'm not mad at no black man talking about it must be the money. He ain't got to do a motherfucking thing for me. Nothing. 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 You know why? Because he bust his ass as a two-sport athlete. You know what kind of discipline he had to do? He worked hard. He owes me nothing. So if he came to anything I had, provided value, put eyeballs on me, it's up to me to take it from there. And if that man got another dream, what is he supposed to stop dreaming because he 50 something years old? Hell no. Dream the biggest dream. You already did your thing. You owe me nothing. It's up for me to take it from here. But no. What do you expect from people that had Betty Shabazz living here? Is this the outcome of being a revolutionary's wife? Here? All right, if you start here, whatever. But to end here? And this is your husband? So y'all can understand if a woman doesn't want to be with a revolutionary, right? Y'all you would understand that, right? Because y'all not gonna take care of her babies. And if something happened to the man, and something will happen to him, because that's the game, she's on her own. Imagine the wife of a revolutionary, and when he goes to jail or dies, right? Because it's either one of them, she starts a OnlyFans. So you mean to tell me your husband was at the United Nations talking on behalf of the plight of the Negro in America? And when something happens to him, nobody steps in to help the family, nothing. So she starts an OnlyFans. That's tough. This Coin Gang platform is for dudes and chicks that want to move forward in their life. I don't give a damn about masculinity. I don't give a damn about femininity. I don't give a damn about gender roles. I don't give a damn about the community. I care about the individual. Yo, if you got a dream, yo, dream big. Go extremely big. And you don't have to be apologetic about that dream. And you don't have to be apologetic about that season. I'm not going to judge you because you want more for yourself. I don't know what's in your mind. You was once a little boy and you was a little girl, and when you dreamed in color. And when you seen the world, it was big and you was excited about life. Get back to that. So when you see Deion still scaling, still winning, don't isolate yourself from that. That's you. Yours might look different, but that's you. And they gonna talk regardless. Remember, they don't even know what time it is. So I just want to let you know, as long as I'm around, this year coming up, if you're looking for a platform that ain't doing none of them politics, if you a woman and you looking for a platform that ain't judging you because of your bodies or none of that, if you a man and you looking for a place where you could come chill and you could come put your thinking cap on, well, come to death row. if you ain't tired of people in the video dancing, you know what I mean, come to death row. Come over here. Come over here at Coin Game. You know what I'm saying? When you got it, go ahead and put a little something in the collection plate. If you don't got it, just share a like. Pull up next time. It's all good. Right? It's all good. Because this is about personal development. We don't come to save the world. Right? We come to do our thing, turn up, read books, fall in love, have fun, right? And whatever we take, we give a little back. That's our contribution. we put back whatever we take. I take one, I put back two. I take two, I put back three. You don't own no nothing else. So 2023, you know, I got a prayer for y'all. For 2023, this prayer is more, right? Whatever you've been doing, more of it. So if you was a person that you felt love before and it's been a long time, I want to push that in your space to go out and bump your head, right? Go out and bump your head. And it's okay if the love that you get, it's not like your first love. It's not supposed to be, right? Or your mom is gone, or your dad is gone, or your grandparents is gone, right? And they had a certain type of love for you, right? It's okay if the love that's coming, right? It's not quite like before, but it's still love. And if you've seen some money before, ain't you tired of that amount? If you've been at 40,000, 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, let me tell you, there's more than that. Never get comfortable. Don't do this to be content. I'm good. Don't be content. Keep going. There's more. There's more travel. There's more fitness. There's more workout. There's more books to read. There's more movies to watch. There's more museums to go. There's more friends to make. 2023 over here is a year of more, right? 2023 is a year of more. So more for me looks like when the weather breaks, we're going to set up something so we can do this in person, because we need to meet each other. We need to figure out who is rocking with this, right? So we could build something together, like-minded individuals, personal development. But I'm gonna do the work first. I'm gonna do the work, right? And then I'm gonna open the door and I'm gonna be like, all right, boom, this is what we working on. I'm not a talking ass nigga. I'll show you when I do it, right? Right? I'm gonna do the work first. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you donate to this. Da, da. I'm gonna do the work first, and then when I do the work, boom, I'm gonna show you what I've been working on. Then you decide, yo, that's what I want to rock with. But that's coming down the pipe. Anyway, it's a year of more. More. Anything you can think of, more of it. Hopefully, you've dealt with your trauma and things you don't like. So that's not even in your point of reference. More. I want more for you. You know what I'm saying? More. Right? Deion wanted more and he got it. Appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate it, beloved. More. And I just want to tell you that you don't have to be an unapologetic. You're not weird. You're not an oddball because you think outside the box and you see in color. And you're not weird and you're not an oddball because you believe in possibilities. And you're not weird and you're or oddball because you don't see yourself as a victim, right? More, right? And if you want more, come over here.